Hello, and a very warm welcome to all of you, amazing English learners. My name is Alyssa, and I am so happy to be here with you today. We are going to talk about a very common problem, one that I know so many of you have. That little voice in your head that just won't stop translating everything. You know that feeling, right? You hear someone speak in English. Maybe a friend asks you a question, and before you can answer, your brain does a quick little dance. It takes the English question, and it changes it into your own language. Then, in that safe place, you think of a good answer, and only then. Do you try to change it back into English? This whole process is so slow, and it can make you feel like you're always a little late, a little bit behind in the conversation. It's like you're running on a slow path when you really want to be on the fast road. But what if I told you there's a way to stop that little translation dance? Imagine hearing an English word and just understanding it right away. Imagine having an idea and being able to say it out loud, easily, without needing to translate it first. This isn't a magic trick. It's a skill, a new habit, a new way of thinking that you can build. And today, we're going to dive very deep into exactly how you can start doing that. We're going to talk about the why behind the problem and give you so many simple, fun ways to practice. Let's get started. First, we need to understand what's happening in your brain. I want you to imagine your brain is a big city with many roads. The roads you know best are for your first language. They are big, fast highways. You can drive on them without even thinking. When you started learning English, you started building a new, small road, a new path. But at the beginning, that new road wasn't very strong. So every time you wanted to use it, your brain took you on a long detour. It would make you go back to your main language highway first, and then it would send you down that new, small English road. This is the translation trap. It's a habit you built because it was the only way to get to your destination at the beginning. But now, that habit is slowing you down. We need to close that old detour and build a direct, strong highway for English. A direct connection from your thoughts to your English words. Think of it like this. When you were a little child, you didn't learn the word apple by translating it. You learned it by seeing an apple, smelling an apple, maybe tasting an apple. The word apple and the idea of the fruit became one thing in your mind. This is what we want to do for all of English. We want to make a direct connection between the ideas in our heads and the English words for these ideas. Now, before we get to the fun exercises, we need to make a very important change in our minds. I want you to stop seeing yourself as an English learner and start seeing yourself as an English user. This is the most important step of all. A learner is a student. They are focused on memorizing rules. They worry a lot about making mistakes. They are always studying the language from the outside. A user, on the other hand, just uses the language. A user's goal isn't to be perfect. Their goal is to get their idea out, to connect with another person. A user is focused on the message, not on the grammar. They use English as a tool to do things in their life. Let me give you a clear example. A learner might say to themselves, I must use the past perfect tense correctly in this sentence. A user might say to themselves, I want to tell my friend about what happened to me yesterday. Do you see the difference? The learner is focused on the rule. The user is focused on the message. Your brain is so powerful, and it will find a way to get your message out if you give it the freedom to do so. It might not be perfect, and that's okay. We're going to learn to love those small mistakes because they are the signs that you are trying, that you are using the language, not just studying it. This small change in your mind is what will give you the freedom and courage to start thinking directly in English. Now, let's get into the simple, practical things you can do to train your brain. These aren't big, difficult tasks. They are small, easy habits you can add to your everyday life. Our first idea is a very powerful one. The inner monologue. Your silent conversation. Every single one of us has a quiet voice in our heads, a voice that talks to us all day long. This is your inner monologue. It's the voice that thinks about your day, plans your tasks, and comments on what you see. For a long time, this voice has been speaking your native language. Now, our goal is to gently teach it to speak English. The beauty of this exercise is that it's completely private. No one else can hear your thoughts. You can make all the mistakes you want, and that's perfectly fine. You can start with just 5 minutes a day. Choose a simple, quiet time. Maybe while you are taking a shower, or while you're commuting on the bus, or just before you go to sleep. Here are some examples of what you can say to yourself. When you are getting ready in the morning, you might think, I need to get up now. I'm a little tired. I'll take a quick shower. Now I'm putting on my shirt. I wonder what I will eat for breakfast today. I think I'll have some coffee. When you are walking down the street, you might think, the sky is so blue today. The sun is warm on my face. Look at that red car. It's driving very fast. I hope I don't forget to buy milk later. When you are in a grocery store, you might think, I need to get some bread. Where is the bread section? Okay, I found it. I'll get this loaf. Now I need some eggs. Where are the eggs? What if you don't know a word? This is the most important part of this exercise. Do not stop and translate. Instead, try to describe the word using the English you already know. For example, if you forget the word for kettle, you could think, I need to use the machine that makes the water hot for my tea. If you forget the word for slippers, you could think, I need to put on the soft shoes I wear inside the house. If you forget the word for tired, you could think, my body feels very heavy. I want to close my eyes and rest. By doing this, you are forcing your brain to use its English vocabulary in a new, creative way. You are building that direct road from the idea to the English word, without the translation detour. Our next simple exercise is called the descriptive challenge, linking words to objects. This is another great exercise that connects English words directly to real-world things. The goal is to build a very strong link between an object and its English name. You can do this anywhere. Just look around you and pick an object. Take a simple object like a cup. Now, in your mind, or even out loud if you're alone, describe it using only English words. This is a white cup. It has a handle. It is made of ceramic. It is a little bit heavy. I can use it to drink coffee or tea. Now let's try a more difficult object, a houseplant. This is a green plant. It has very big leaves. The leaves are smooth and shiny. It is in a small pot. I think it needs some water. You can also use this challenge to describe actions or feelings. For a feeling like hunger, you might think, my stomach feels a little empty. I hear a sound from my stomach. I want to eat some food right now. By doing this, you are teaching your brain that the English words for things are the real words for them, not just translations of other words. And a final simple technique is called the why game, building simple arguments. This exercise pushes you to think in full sentences and to make connections in English. It's like having a little debate with yourself. In English, it's very simple. Whenever you see something, ask yourself, why? And try to answer it. You see a lot of rain outside. You ask yourself, why is it raining so much today? You can answer, the weather forecast said it would rain all week. You see a person smiling a lot. You ask yourself, why is that person so happy? You can answer, maybe they just heard some very good news from a friend. You see a busy street with many cars. You ask yourself, why is there so much traffic here? You can answer, it is almost the end of the workday, so everyone is trying to go home. This game makes you go from just noticing something to thinking about it, to giving a reason for it. All in English. It's great practice for real-life conversations where you have to give your opinion or explain something. But the journey doesn't end there. To truly start thinking in English, you have to build a little world of English around you, a place where English is just there, all the time. We're going to call this creating your English bubble. First, think about your digital bubble. Change the language on your phone, on your social media accounts, and on your computer. At first, it might feel a little strange, but very quickly, your brain will start to connect the icons and the pictures to the English words without translating. For example, when you see the word settings on your phone, you won't think of the word for it in your native language. You'll just know what it means because you want to change something on your phone. It's a very powerful trick. Next, think about your content bubble. Find an English language YouTube channel, podcast, or radio station that talks about something you genuinely love, not something you feel like you have to study. Maybe you love to cook. Find a cooking channel in English. Maybe you love watching movies. Find a movie review podcast. Your goal isn't to learn every word. Your goal is to be entertained. As you watch or listen, your brain will pick up on words and phrases naturally, without a translation step. It will learn how people really talk. Now let's talk about an advanced technique that is perfect for intermediate learners. It's called the Storyteller's Challenge. Recount and retell. It's all about making your brain a storyteller in English. The first step, the input, is to listen to a short story in English, a news story, a short video, or a chapter of an audiobook. Your only job is to get the main idea. Then comes the crucial second step, the wait. Wait a few hours, or even until the next day. This is the most important step. It forces your brain to recall the story from memory, not from the exact words you heard. Finally, in the retelling, you try to tell the story out loud, in your own words, using English. Don't worry about being perfect. The goal is to get the story out. For example, if you heard a news story about a man who rescued a cat from a tree, you might say, so there was this man, and a cat was stuck in a tall tree. The man saw the cat and helped it. The cat was happy to be safe. This exercise is like a workout for your brain. It forces you to use the words you know to build a full narrative. And when you don't know a word, it forces you to find another way to say it, which is exactly what we want. And here is a new, fun exercise you can do anywhere. It's called the mental movie technique. It's about using your imagination to create a little movie in your mind. In English, choose a scene, a conversation you had today, or a conversation you want to have tomorrow. Close your eyes for a moment and just play that scene in your head. In English, imagine what you are wearing, what the other person is wearing, what the room looks like, what you are saying, and what they are saying back to you. For example, you can play a mental movie of you ordering coffee in a cafe. You can see yourself walking to the counter. You can hear yourself say, "Hello, can I please have a coffee with milk?" And you can hear the person reply, "Sure, is that all?" This exercise helps you practice conversations and scenarios before they happen. It makes your brain comfortable with using English in real-life situations, all in a safe, private place. One of the biggest problems with translating is that you lose the feeling behind the words. We want to learn the feeling of English, not just the dictionary definitions. This is why we need to talk about vocabulary without translation, the true meaning of words. How do you learn new words without translating them? It's a great question, and the answer is that you learn them the same way you learned words in your native language, by connecting them to the real world. For visual association, when you learn a new word, don't look up the translation. Look up a picture of it online. If you don't know the word sledgehammer, look up sledgehammer. You'll see a picture of a big, heavy hammer, and your brain will connect the word directly to the object. For contextual guessing, when you are reading or listening and you find a new word, don't stop right away. Try to guess the meaning from the words around it. For example, if you read the sentence, "The man was feeling very giddy after he won the race," you can guess that giddy means very happy or excited. Your guess might not be perfect, but the act of trying to guess is a great way to train your brain to understand from context, which is what native speakers do all the time. And for thematic vocabulary, instead of learning random words, try to learn words that are all connected to a theme. If you want to learn about cooking, learn all the words for tools and actions related to cooking: chop, stir, mix, fry, boil, and so on. This helps your brain build a whole group of words around one idea, which makes them easier to remember and use. Remember that words in English have a lot of feeling. A simple change can change the whole meaning. Think about the words happy, joyful, and giddy. All of them mean something good, but they have different feelings. Happy is a normal, good feeling. Joyful is a very strong, deep happiness. And giddy is a happy feeling that makes you a little bit silly or dizzy. When you learn a new word, don't just learn its simple meaning. Try to understand its feeling. A great way to do this is with simple sentences. For example, if you learn the word annoyed, don't just learn that it means a little bit angry. Think of a simple situation. "The sound of the dog barking all night made me annoyed." This simple sentence gives you the feeling of the word much better than a dictionary ever could. The journey to thinking in English is not always easy. You will have good days and bad days. This is a completely normal part of learning. Sometimes you might feel like your progress has stopped. This is called a plateau. It happens to everyone. The key is not to get sad or discouraged, but to see it as a sign that you are about to make another big jump forward. Here's what you can do when you feel this way. Change it up. If you've been listening to news podcasts for a long time, try listening to a comedy podcast. If you've been reading books, try watching a TV show. A little change can wake your brain up and start the learning process again. Or go back to the basics. If you feel stuck, go back to the simple exercises. Spend a few days just doing the inner monologue or the descriptive challenge. This will build your confidence and remind you that you already know so much. And always celebrate the small things. Keep a little notebook and write down one thing you did in English today that was good. Maybe you understood a sentence in a movie, or you used a new word correctly in your inner monologue. Celebrating these small wins will help you feel motivated. As we finish our time today, I want to leave you with one final, very important thought. When you are learning to think in English, you are not just learning a new skill. You are, in a very real way, creating a new version of yourself, your language ego. This new English version of you might sound a little different. You might be a little more direct. Your jokes might be a little simpler. You might feel a little less confident. And this is perfectly okay. You are not supposed to be an exact copy of yourself in your native language. You are a beautiful, complex person who is now building a new way to share your thoughts and feelings with the world. I remember when I was learning a new language, I was so worried about making mistakes that I often stayed silent. I was afraid people would laugh at me. But then I met a good friend who told me something that changed everything. She said, "Alyssa, no one cares if your grammar is perfect. We care about what you have to say. We want to know you, the person, not a perfect dictionary." That idea was a huge gift to me. It gave me the freedom to speak, to make mistakes, and to just be me. My language ego was born at that moment, and I want you to have that same freedom today. So let go of the pressure to be perfect. Let go of the need for the translator. Trust your journey. Trust your brain. It is capable of amazing things. With consistent, simple practice and a little bit of kindness toward yourself, you will find that English will stop being a tool you have to think about, and it will start to become an easy, natural extension of your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own personality. You won't just be speaking English, you'll be living in it. And that, my friends, is true fluency. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you all the best on your journey.